wanted to show you today, we talked a bit about it, and I'll insert some footage in when we have been growing them in the garden. So I'm under my bean tunnel right now, and I wanted to show you guys before I harvest a bunch of these. You can see that they're at different stages of drying out. Let me put my container down. So let's see, not quite dry. Oh, that one's dry. That one's dry. Those two are both dry. So you can see how cool this bean tunnel works. But we decided to plant these Cherokee black beans 2 years ago. That's when we started. And I think they are one of the coolest crops because you can pick them as an immature bean and they're just a green bean, or you can let them dry on the vine and they look like this, and then once we shell them, they're just a regular black bean. But the reason that I like to grow them is that I get two different crops from them, but also where we live here in Utah, we have really harsh sun and we have to shade our plants. And so what I do is I plant these, they're a pole bean, which means that they grow upright rather than just growing as a bush. So I grow them on cattle panels or that kind of thing. Here's the outside of my bean tunnel. Let's see if I can show you from the side. It's just a cattle panel that goes over the top of this bed. And we just plant the beans down on either side of it and they grow up it and do their thing. And use them to provide shade for my other plants so that I'm getting an extra benefit for it. I'm not having to put up shade cloth or any kind of structure like that. I'm using the plants as a structure to provide shade. The other thing is, beans are really good for your soil. They're a nitrogen fixer. And so you're getting, in my case, shade for your plants. And I'll indoor plant them in with my melons, my cucumbers, basically anything that I trail up, I can grow beans in with them. And then they're fixing the soil. And I get to choose how I want to use them. I can pick them throughout the season as the green beans, or I can just leave them alone and not do anything with them until the end of the season, and that's when they're the dried beans. Now typically I sit down after I've been out in the garden and shell these while I'm cooling off. So for me, I know that there's tips and tricks for how to effectively and efficiently harvest them. One I've heard is putting them in a pillowcase and then basically just smashing it inside of the pillowcase, and the beans will separate from the shell, and then you can just use a fan to blow off the lighter weight pod. But for me, I use it as a sitting and calming down task. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and get these shelled. Okay, so we got those all shelled. I am thrilled with what we've been able to get out of them. I think it's an awesome crop. Let me know if you decide to try them. Like I showed you before, they're from Baker Creek, and it's Cherokee Trail of Tears black beans. It's a pole bean variety. Let me know what you think. I'd love to hear. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.